Have you ever said something to a woman and her entire face changed? Like you flipped a hidden switch and suddenly you weren't just a guy anymore, you were the guy. If you haven't felt that shift, then what I'm about to tell you might just change everything. Okay, full disclosure, this is not some pickup artist garbage with fake lines that make you sound like you copied them from a Reddit thread in 2009. This is different. This is personal. It's about connection, not manipulation. Because women, they feel words differently. They remember how you made them feel, not just what you said. So let's get into it. Phrase 1. You're not like anyone I've ever met. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's it? Sounds like something off a Hallmark card, right? But wait, I'm not talking about saying this line with the emotional weight of a fortune cookie. I'm talking about how you say it, and more importantly, when. Let me take you back. There was this girl I met at a bookstore. Yeah, a real one. 4 walls, dusty shelves, coffee in the back that tasted like burnt toast and hope. She was thumbing through a worn copy of The Bell Jar. We talked. It wasn't flirty, not yet. Just warm and real. I told her she reminded me of a storm, calm on the outside, but something in her eyes was hiding lightning. She laughed, not the polite kind, the kind that says, "Oh damn, you actually see me." And then, a few minutes in, no lead-up, no grand performance, I said, "You're not like anyone I've ever met." She didn't say anything, just looked at me, like I'd cracked open a part of her that most guys walk right past. You see, the power of this phrase isn't the words, it's the risk inside them. You're not playing it safe. You're saying, "I see you, you're different," and I'm not afraid to say it. But here's where most guys mess this up. They say it too early, or worse, without meaning it. Let me break this down. A woman's heard compliments before, tons of them. You're beautiful. You've got amazing eyes. You smell like vanilla and victory, whatever. But when you look at her, and I mean really look, and you point out something she doesn't even realize she's projecting, that hits her like a wave she didn't see coming, say it after she tells you how she used to sneak out to dance in the rain. Say it when she talks about the weird way she remembers dreams in color. Say it when she does something vulnerable, not sexy. Human. "You're not like anyone I've ever met" is a scalpel, not a hammer. Don't overuse it. But when it's right, it lands like lightning. And here's the kicker. The pause after you say it. Let it hang. Don't rush to fill the silence. Let her feel it. That silence, that's where the magic happens. Phrase 2. I feel like I could talk to you for hours. Let's get one thing clear. This one is subtle, quiet, like background jazz in a smoky room at 2 a.m. It doesn't yell, "I'm into you," the way most compliments do. It whispers it, gently, intimately. And in that whisper, there's power. So let me set the scene. Years ago, I was sitting on the floor of someone's living room during a party that had started out wild and slowly softened into vinyl records and red wine. Everyone was scattered on couches and chairs, half drunk and saying half smart things. I found myself sitting with this woman, let's call her Claire, not the loudest person in the room, not the flashiest either. But she had this presence. The kind of calm that makes you forget you're supposed to be interesting. She was talking about some movie she loved, obscure French film, subtitles and all, and I wasn't even sure I liked it, but I was hanging on to every word. And I remember it so clearly. There was this little lull in our conversation, and I leaned in just a little and said, "You know, I feel like I could talk to you for hours." She blinked, smiled, tucked her hair behind her ear, which I now know is one of those subconscious tells when something hits deep. And then she said, "That might be the nicest thing anyone said to me all night." See, here's what this phrase does. It validates more than just her appearance. It tells her, I'm not just here for how you look. I'm here for your mind, your rhythm, your weird little metaphors and your side stories, and the way your voice rises when you talk about things you care about. It builds intimacy without being creepy. It invites emotional depth without saying, hey, tell me about your childhood trauma. And let me let you in on a little secret. When a woman hears this, it taps into something that a lot of men never speak to. Her desire to be known, to be understood, to be seen not just as attractive, but as someone worth staying up until 3 a.m. for, just to hear one more thought about why she believes trees are secretly alive. Now let's be real. You can't just say this to anyone. You have to mean it. You have to feel it. And most importantly, you have to say it when you're both deep into a vibe. When it's just the two of you in that little emotional pocket where time slows down, like the world's got their finger on the pause button and it's just you and her and this strange soft gravity pulling you closer. This phrase sinks in because it tells her, hey, you're not a checklist I'm trying to complete, you're a person I want to explore. And it works both ways. If she says something like, I feel like I've known you forever, or this is so easy, it's weird. You're in that space where attraction becomes attachment. And this phrase, it nudges it forward without ever forcing it. But I'll tell you what not to do. Don't drop it 10 minutes into your first date just because there's no awkward silence. Don't use it as a trick to sound deep. And for the love of all things holy, don't say it while looking at your phone. Look her in the eye, let it land, let it breathe. It's not a magic spell, it's an invitation, and when you say it at the right moment, she'll start wondering what it would be like to fall asleep next to someone who actually listens, someone who makes her forget to check the time, someone who makes conversation feel like home. But if you think that one hit deep, wait till you hear the last phrase, because the third one, that one reaches straight into her soul. Phrase 3, you make me feel lucky just being here with you. All right, this one's special. This is the kind of thing you say when there's already some fire between you. Not a full-blown inferno, not yet, but a strong, steady heat that's been building slowly, quietly. Let me tell you a story. It was late. We were on a rooftop. Not some bougie hotel, just a friend's place with a view of the city and a couple lawn chairs that had seen better days. The lights of the buildings were blinking like they had secrets. The kind of night that smells like concrete, warm skin, and maybe, just maybe, new beginnings. We weren't even saying much, just sitting there, letting the silence stretch. And then, without planning it, without thinking about whether it was cool or not, I looked over at her, and she had her knees pulled up to her chest, sweatshirt sleeves over her hands, and I said, you make me feel lucky just being here with you. Now, I want you to imagine that moment. Not flashy, not rehearsed, just real. She didn't say anything at first, just reached over and took my hand. Because that line isn't about impressing her, it's about honoring her. We live in a world where everyone's trying to prove something. Everyone's posturing, everyone's swiping, everyone's performing like love is a talent show with a panel of judges. But this phrase, it cuts through all of that. It says, right here, right now, I'm not thinking about anyone else. I'm not comparing you to anything. I'm just grateful you exist, and somehow, I'm the guy sitting next to you. And here's the part that most people never talk about. Women are constantly being made to feel like they're replaceable. This phrase makes her feel irreplaceable. Not because she's perfect, not because she's got flawless skin or a million followers, but because she's her. Because of the way she laughs when she snorts, or the way she turns serious when she talks about her dreams, or how she always orders fries and never eats more than 3. It's her, and you're telling her that's enough. Now, let me warn you, if you say this too early, it can come off as fake, desperate, like you're trying to fast forward the movie. But when the moment's right, this phrase doesn't just make her feel seen, it makes her feel safe, like she can put her armor down. Like maybe, just maybe, you're the kind of man who doesn't just want something from her, but wants to build something with her. And I'll be honest with you, when I said that line, I didn't know if she'd say anything back. But what she did, she leaned in, rested her head on my shoulder and whispered, "I've never felt more wanted in my life." Look, you don't need a script to win her heart. You need presence. You need truth. These phrases, they're not tools. They're reflections of how you feel, spoken out loud. So use them when they're real. Use them when the moment calls for it. And above all, say them like you mean them. Because the difference between a guy she forgets and a man she remembers, it's how you make her feel when you speak. Now, if this hits something in you, drop a comment, share your moment, your memory, the phrase you said or should have said. And if you want more of this kind of real talk, you know what to do. Subscribe, stick around. Let's keep getting better together. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and say what you mean.